Of course there's something else. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and today's comment of the weekly comes from Bruno Guerrero, who says, "The old Robo sounds so bored." Okay, this isn't from the last weekly, but this comment caught my eye this week, so it still kind of fits. He made this comment on the Bandai Stormtrooper model kit that is now about 5 years old, and I will fully admit, I do sound bored as hell back then. The green background days, I was just finding my way. I was just starting out, and I was afraid to let the accent fly or the silliness come out. I didn't want to give anybody any kind of ammo to make fun of me. But obviously we're way past that. One day I decided to, change it to the blue, both here and in there, and just let the inner Robo out. And that's where we are now. I've said it before, I cannot go back to those old videos. It sounds like a different person that annoys me. Do I annoy myself? Yeah. Yeah, I do. But at the same time, it's all toy talk, and that's what we're all here for. So, speaking of, since we're already in a Plunderlings mood from the intro, let's start out with those rascally little varmints. I love these things, and you love these things, and for them to make more of the drench in the translucent plastic with new lily pad hats and a awesome mask looking thing, hey, I'll take more. We saw a couple of the drench as exclusives for the Kickstarter. These, you just go to Big Bad Toy Store, you pre-order them, you wait it out, you get cool toys. But if you're in Japan, you can back their campfire campaign that is running right now simultaneously with the pre-orders. And did you notice the Plunderlings in the intro? Oh man, I can't wait for them and the Plunderstrongs and this universe to just build and build and build. And we have different sizes, different shapes, different kinds of fun. That's all I got to say about it. Seems Bandai America, remember I keep saying that, it's Bandai America, not regular Bandai, but it seems like they are jumping on the Stranger Things train. That series is coming back around, so it only makes sense for new product to pop up, but it may need some polishing. The way I consider Bandai America, the quality and standards aren't quite as high as Bandai itself, but this is toys for a different market. And for a price point under $20, they are offering a couple of vinyl figures, starting with Dart. Now, I don't recognize this because I only watched the first season of Stranger Things. So, I'm looking at it, and if you show me a flashcard during a psych evaluation with this picture on it, I would go, oh, that's from Stranger Things because it looks like the Demogorgon, who they are also offering in this cheaper vinyl price point. The vinyl doesn't allow for super articulation, so you have swivel joints. You just have bare minimum movement. But again, different market. The packaging is odd, though. I mean, it does its job. It transports action figure from factory to your hands, and then goes out the door. But I guess they wanted to make packaging for both that accommodated both of their sizes. It's just too bad the Demogorgon is more vertical and Dart is more horizontal, and they both end up looking weird in it. But then there are two higher priced super articulated action figures starting with 11, or some semi-quasi facsimile of 11. Not the greatest likeness, not the best implementation of articulation, and not the most proportionate of proportions. It's passable if you're a fan of the show, but I see more life in it as custom fodder. And I can probably say all the same stuff for Hopper, although he's not as gappy he doesn't look as marionette-like. As I'm apt to do and let you know about every week, when it comes to lines like this where I have no emotional attachment to the property itself, I can use this as a villain henchman or random background character. Or a very young, very angry John C. Reilly. Who knows? I may need one of those on the shelf. $30 a pop does seem kind of high, but maybe they'll be better in hand next month when they release. And you guys know me. I couldn't help it. I pre-ordered the 80s TV movie Kingpin just to give it a test drive, so I'll let you know. Okay, you guys win. It looks like we're going to be talking about more Four Horsemen from here on out. To the casual collector, Mythic Legions can seem a little intimidating at this point, but to start a new line with Cosmic Legions, where they explore a whole new realm, to a window shopper like me, this is a chance to get in on the ground floor. Plus, my brain just skews more sci-fi than fantasy, so this is way more up my alley. Last week we talked about the four-armed monster brute type character. This week, right off the bat, we get an adventurer type female of some kind. Next was a bug-like bastard who would look just as natural invading your Avengers shelf as it would any Star Wars shelf. This one, I don't even know what to think of this one. Some kind of crime boss or a gentle scientist who just wants to do his work. Thursday brought an armored alien with some heavy machinery, maybe some robotics. I don't know quite what's going on here, but it's intriguing. And then today, Friday, there was this mean looking mother shut your mouth. As I'm recording this, again, early Friday, I don't have all the pretty promotional pictures or release information. That's all happening tonight at 9 p.m. So by the time you watch this on Saturday, these may be up for pre-order, or they may all be revealed, or I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it next week. Remember a few weeks ago whenever Loot Crate gave us our first look at the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Claw Shredder? You also remember how I joked about how this figure was not gonna stand with those big honking forearm claw things? Well, this week they came back around and gave us a full look, and look at the base there. It's wide, big feet. I have more faith that you will be able to pull off the pose without it humping on its face. Plus, it looks way more proportionate than I was imagining. I have no background with this character, or well, this look for the character. Of course, I know who Shredder is. With the bigger feet, it kind of brings everything together. I ordered this thinking, well, I'll trade it off. I'll give it to somebody, or, you know, this or that. But the more I look at it, the more I'm happy I got this thing. Now, will the joints hold under the massive weight of these things, or are they hollow? Is that why there's not a pin going through where there is pins on the other side of the elbow? This came along with the news that the first Loot Crate in this series with Danny, or Dan, to run that joke into the ground some more, that will start shipping this week, or next week, since this week is already almost over. I guess we'll see. Keeping with NECA, if you're a fan of the new It movie, they should have you covered on Pennywise at this point, with different accessories and different looks. So what's one more? It doesn't hurt a thing. Especially since it looks like it's coming with a lot of those previous heads, but it's not just a reissue, it's also an upgrade. They went back and did digital printing on all the facial features, so it should look more realistic, just more clear, more better. Why do I keep wanting to say more better? More better. What it comes down to is it makes it more creepy, because just look at it. Look at it! Add in all those heads, some hand options, the balloon, the paper boat, severed arm, and it seems like a pretty good deal, especially if you've skipped most of the Pennywises up to this point. No details yet, but should be coming soon. If you told me a few years ago that McFarlane Toys was going to be making a super articulated Princess Bride action figure line, you know what I would have said? Improbable. But here we are. There's Wesley and Buttercup and Fezzik to go along with the Inigo Montoya that they teased a few months ago. Seeing him from the front, the likeness is pretty good, but then Buttercup, it's okay. I like that Wesley comes in full Dread Pirate Roberts gear, but it makes me wonder if there's going to be an unmasked head at some point. And can we get some left-hand sword grip hands for both of the swordsmen? Fezzik looks off, but good at the same time. It's straddling that fence. I think it's the hair. It's plasticky. It's very solid. But let me say this. I hate whoever said that if you paint the skin tone on Fezzik green and maybe swap out the head, you have a live-action Shrek. And now I can't get that out of my head. Pre-orders for this wave open up next week. I'm going to attempt to quickly run through all the Jazwares AEW reveals from the All Out Fan Fest because there's a lot of them. It's not always this many, but when it is, it's just inconceivable. Haha, I called back to the last one. You thought I was going to say it a minute ago, and I didn't, and I was swerved. First up, there was Unmatched Series 3, or as I like to call it, the Dark Order wave. But there was an LJN throwback Darby Allin. Seems only appropriate to start with Mr. Brody Lee, right? But along with that is Anna Jay. Then there's Stu Grayson, Evil Uno, and John Silver. Then there's Unrivaled Series 8, or the Best Friends wave. Kinda, because half of it continues that trend of, oh, here's some characters we already gave you just in different looks. Which I get, these days reuse helps pay for uniqueness, but some of these characters, ooh, we've gotten quite a few times. Chris Jericho and John Moxley make a reappearance and are backed up with another Orange Cassidy. Like I said, this is the Best Friends wave. For new wrestlers, there's Chuck Taylor, Chris Statlander, and Trent. There's a question mark there. You have to say it like that. Trent? Unrivaled Series 9 doesn't actually show digital renders of the toys, just pictures of the wrestlers. But it is all unique characters for the toy line. So forget about my whining from a minute ago. I wasn't whining. I was just, pointing stuff out. Christian Cage, Eddie Kingston, and Thunder Rosa kick off the wave, joined by Team Taz's Brian Cage, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Ricky Starks. Unmatched Series 4 is also just pictures of the wrestlers themselves, and it goes back to rehashing characters we already have. So, whining justified. Hangman Adam Page, MJF, and Cody Rhodes get more figures along with luminaries Chris Jericho. Cody in a suit may be good custom fodder for a lot of other lines. The debut figures are CM Punk and Jade Cargill, who should make amazing looking action figures. For exclusives, Ringside is going on a bloody streak with a deathmatch 2-pack of Omega and Moxley, along with a Britt Baker single release. Hopefully they're just showing her heads because they're revamping the body somehow, because I saw that at the store the other day and it's very olive oil-esque. And then, because AEW is just a t-shirt company, the AEW shop exclusive Chris Jericho has a fabric shirt that you can only get from them. These should all be available in the future. On Monday, Fwoosh Live, we talked about the video revealing the Mezco 112th Collective Rumble Society Hawk P40, but we didn't know all the goodies it was coming with until the solicitation rolled around on Wednesday. It's just an interesting design that's kind of a clash of old and new. The head looks like some kind of spaceship, but painted in classic fighter motif. A propeller for the belt, which took me a while to find, but then robotic arms, very futuristic. Fur-lined vest, digital camo pants. Don't seem to go together, but they do. It feels like a bunch of kids' drawings that crumpled up, ate, sloshed around, threw up on an action figure. But it totally works. It's silly, but it's badass. How does that work? And there's the alternate tank-looking head that's about to eat your soul. Seriously, this thing is horrifying in the best possible way. Comes with a huge Gatling gun, a rocket launcher with blast effects, alternate hands, dog tags, grenades, and a wrench. Why a wrench? Because he can.
Don't you have a problem with that?
I missed the window for this, but that's okay. I've been skipping a lot of the Rumble Society simply for budget reasons and room reasons. But if I had grabbed this, it would have been hard not to replace the head and put it on my Reaver's shelf to fight my X-Men. It is on waitlist. I may be tempted. $95 should ship this month, and I'm thinking the same thing you are. How is this ready to ship now when we've been waiting for other figures for over a year? I don't know. Oh man, the Hasbro Star Wars team finally had a live stream, and kinda. It started off with the Black Series GameStop exclusive Gaming Greats Battlefront 2 Jet Trooper. I'm a sucker for troopers, so I am all over this, but I'm confused by the parts. They said it was the new clone trooper that we all know and love, but it's got double knees and double elbows. Now I know they have been playing with parts. They came out with that new body. It's got the single knee, single elbows. Then they merged the double knees from the old figure onto the new figure, but have we had one that has the double elbows too? Because I'm pretty sure that is the new helmet, and then the jetpack's using Django's that has been used several times. So basically, repaint. But hey, cool. It's exclusive. It's not going to get in the way of anything else, And like I said, I'm down. It's a trooper. Then they debuted the Black Series Mandalorian Credit Collection Wave 2. And it's a Mandalorian series. Of course there's going to be a Mandalorian, but this time around, he's in a very blue color scheme. Very Django-ish. Quill leans into the greens and oranges and has that paintbrush speckle effect, which we do see on other figures too, but I thought I'd point it out here because it's very apparent. Greef Karga and Moff Gideon also crank up the blues like the Mandalorian, but this makes their clothing just a bit more striking. And then the armor veers into the red area of the spectrum, along with a jetpack to hammer away on. Now, me being me, I enjoy this expression with the prop-like credit pieces that come with each figure, the card backs, the feel it evokes, but again, basically, repaints. And then if you're interested in these, it's kind of a scavenger hunt situation. Quill and Mando are Amazon, Moff Gideon is Best Buy, Armor is GameStop, and then Karga is a fan channel. But not to leave poor old Target out, they get another Mandalorian and Grogu build-up pack exclusive. Essentially like the first one, it's a rehash of figures with some new sculpt, new accessories, new deco, specifically for the Mudhorn hunt scene. The child's concentrating, using the Force, trying to help Din, who is covered in mud from getting his ass whooped by a hairy rhino. And then first time in the Black Series, there is the pram from early in the series and the Mudhorn egg that splits apart for some, Jawa feasting action. Here's where I kind of raise my eyebrow at the live stream. They claim that the Mandalorian has no new sculpt. It's all something new called dimensional painting, but that sure looks like his chest armor is torn and hanging off. Is that just paint, or was she talking about the mud effect itself all over the body? I don't know. It doesn't help that they covered up that chest plate in every promotional shot they sent out, except for the boxed shot. Even that's smaller than most of their promotional images. Looks like a new sculpt to me. On top of all that, no pre-order. It's just gonna hit Target shelves early 2022. So, I'm hoping for the best. Again, basically, mostly a repaint, some nifty new accessories. Then they finished off the live stream with pipeline reveals of the next archive wave. The Emperor, Lando, and Skiff-Guard disguise, C-3PO, and Dengar. This line is great for people just jumping into the line. They don't have to pay expensive secondary prices. They can just grab and go. Or if you miss this first time around, there's another chance. Then they do seem to tweak things every now and then, or little upgrades. I can't see them doing anything to Dengar, but everybody needs a Dengar. It's Dengar. With the next Star Wars HasLab being Rancor, you need to add to Jabba's palace ranks with Lando and Skiff-Guard. I'm not sure which Emperor they're going to reissue. Is it going to be the original release, or will it be the one with the throne without the throne? Hopefully it's that one with some of the extra heads, the nicer paint jobs on it. And then for C-3PO, they can go a couple of different directions. Super dirty, super shiny, slightly alter it from figures we've gotten before, but it's still C-3PO. Again, repaints. Overall, not the most exciting of live streams, but I get it. Star Wars itself does not lend itself well to reuse like other Hasbro properties. Repaints are inevitable, and if they can't go for, easy ones from the movies, they'll find some other way, like the credit collection. Again, reissues are good for people who missed out the first time around. And I'm one of those guys who does like the weird, wacky repaints, the nostalgia tugs, and troopers, just in general. But for those things to be the only things talked about is kind of a drag. I'm in, but it would have been much more excitement if they had shown some new stuff too. Gotta balance it out a little bit. Maybe they're waiting for PulseCon, maybe they're waiting for a bigger event, but they didn't even talk about the Rancor, which is a double-edged sword because while I'm ready for the Rancor, give me more info, let me see the figure. We also just came out of Galactus, Transformers is going on right now, so I also advocate for breathing room between HasLabs. Maybe they're waiting for Book of Boba Fett or the next May the 4th. Who knows? Thankfully, Fantatrax was able to give us a first look at the Power of the Force retro-carded Yavin 4 Princess Leia. This looks fantastic. New sculpt, great likeness, an overall presentation that just takes me back to simpler times whenever I could just Star Wars toys all over the place. Why not talk about this during the live stream? Throw some more tidbits out there. Throw us some nuggets. This is going up for pre-order on UK Pulse right now. And then for US Pulse, the 1st of November, after PulseCon. I don't know. But let's end things on a high note, and that of course means Marvel Legends. Jay Hernandez over on his YouTube channel had the opportunity to show off the retro vintage symbiote Spider-Man. Well, symbiote in some instances. If he's doing the thwip hands, I guess that's just black suited Spider-Man. Either way, I love this. I always say it, black and white Spider-Man is just delicious in an action figure form. It's easy on the eyes, it's simple, it's elegant. It's just the basics. There's black, there's a logo, there's the eyes peering out. Always been one of my favorites, and to get it on that new style body, even better. Go over it and watch the video. He kicks the hell out of some poses on this figure where I'm just like, damn, I didn't know plastic could do that. No word on release or anything yet, but they say they will talk about it more next week during the next Hasbro Marvel Legends Fan First Monday. I'm sure we'll see that and many other things we haven't seen before because it's Marvel Legends. And that's it for this week. I think. I doubt it. If I did miss anything, we'll swing back around next week. We always do. If you're interested in seeing any of these pictures up close without me all, I don't know, I'll be posting all of that plus links to pre-orders, more information on the Fwoosh front page Saturday at noon. But if you can't wait that long, links are all in the description. And not just links to pre-orders, also links to Jay's video on the Symbiote Spider-Man and the Instagram reveals from other companies. And if this video is weird at points, it's because I've been having a voltage problem in my house and the lights flicker and it drives me nuts. It distracts me. It's like, oh. But in the big middle of this, the electric company did show up and it seems they got it fixed. I haven't had any blinks since, so next week will be a much more happier Robo Tom because I think in this video, at certain points, you can just see me like, ooh, this is good. But I was talking about toys at the same time, so balance in all things. But I was about to snap. If you enjoyed this Fwoosh Weekly, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you're watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. I was also up way too late last night. If you missed it, go over to Toying Around. I was a guest on Kevin's stream, and we talked about lots and lots of toys. Actually, we talked about toys before, during, and after the stream. I've known Kevin for a while. We've messaged, but first time face-to-face through the wonders of technology. But go check out Kevin. He's awesome. He has awesome guests. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about other guests.